Hello, friends. Welcome to the latest update in cases that we've previously presented. Barbara Thomas, body found. We covered the mysterious case of Barbara Thomas in the second episode of 10 Unsolved National Park Disappearances. We now have information on her fate to share with you all. Barbara disappeared July 12, 2019 in the Mojave Desert. Her body was found in Essex, California on November 27, 2020. Now, the strange thing about this, that's roughly 40 miles from where she vanished, which leads to another question. How did Barbara, at 70 years old, get to Essex? It would be 42 minutes by car, or a 10-hour walk if she attempted the journey there on foot in that hot summer day. On July 12, 2019, Barbara was camping with her husband of 14 years, Bob. They had driven from their place of residence, Bullhead City, Arizona, to enjoy two of their favorite activities, hiking and climbing. The couple parked their van near Kelbaker Road so that they could enjoy a 2-mile hike, intent on exploring some rock formations they hadn't explored before. Bob said this hike would not be strenuous for either of them, as they were both in good shape and went on this hike fairly often. Around 2:30 p.m., Bob claims that he stopped to take a photograph of something, and when he turned around, Barbara was suddenly nowhere in sight. He went to check their camper, and the door was locked. Panicked, he began searching the area, and after finding no sign of Barbara, he called 911. Barbara disappeared wearing a black bikini, tan hiking boots, and a red baseball cap. She didn't have a cell phone with her, nor did she have any water. An extensive, exhaustive search of the area quickly began. Temperature being over 100 degrees Fahrenheit also added even more urgency to the situation. Despite the authorities utilizing helicopters and search dogs, Barbara could not be located. The official search for Barbara Thomas ended on July 12, 2019, but even after that, the area was thoroughly scoured by search and rescue members, some of whom even searched caves and the like, in case Barbara was stuck or injured somewhere nearby. On July 22, 2019, investigators announced they were considering Bob as a suspect in his wife's disappearance. Mr. Thomas claims that he took a polygraph that indicated he was being deceptive, and that's why the detectives started looking at him as a possible suspect. However, it has been shown time and time again that polygraphs are a tool that are nowhere near 100% reliable. According to a study done by the BBC in 2018, polygraphs do not measure deception, which is the core problem, says Professor Aldert Vree, who has written extensively on the subject. The idea is that liars will show increased arousal when answering the key questions, whereas truth-tellers will not. But there is no sound theory to back this up. The article also states that a victim, especially one recounting a traumatic experience, may appear as if they are lying because they are in an emotional state. This could easily be the reason Bob failed his polygraph test, as he had lost his wife and had no idea what was going to happen next. Mr. Thomas' personal theory is that Barbara might have been abducted by a stranger, as their camper was parked quite near to a road. He figures she may have been crossing the road and was taken then. Due to the urgency to find an elderly woman who seemingly vanished into thin air while in the scorching Mojave Desert, the Specialized Investigations Division took over the official investigation. This division specialized in homicide investigation, crimes against children, and illegal activity regarding technology. Barbara's family described her as an avid desert explorer, and they released the following statement. The chances she became lost or disoriented in the 5 minutes between her husband reporting last seeing her and him realizing she was missing are highly improbable. Barbara does not have a history of any illness that we know of. We have no reason to believe Barbara would walk away from her husband or disappear in the manner she has. Her family also stated that Barbara had no history of mental illness either, and she had no reason to run away from her life. She was scheduled to visit her brother in the hospital in Hong Kong later in July. Nearly 18 months after Barbara Thomas disappeared, her remains were located in the desert near Essex, California, on November 27th of 2020. According to the sheriff's office, another search of the area was conducted on November 28th, and they recovered additional bones and evidence. However, they did not disclose what the evidence consisted of. An autopsy was completed by the San Bernardino County Sheriff Coroner's Office. but the cause of death was never publicly announced. May Barbara rest in peace. Ryan Stoka, ongoing search. Also in Episode 2 of our 10 Unsolved National Park Disappearances series, we covered the case of 20-year-old Ryan Stoka. Ryan was last seen leaving a house party in Sun Peaks, Canada on February 17, 2018. In the preceding months, volunteers and search and rescue teams poured all of their resources into finding Ryan. However, no sign of him was ever found. 3 years have now passed since 20-year-old Ryan mysteriously disappeared, but those involved in his case haven't given up hope. On February 15, 2021, CBC published an article titled "Memories of a Young Man's Disappearance from BC Ski Town Lingers 3 Years Later." The article details how the Kamloops RCMP are still receiving tips about Ryan's disappearance and are following each lead to its end. Mike Ritzie, a Kamloops search and rescue member, is even training his search dog, Ranger, in the hopes that he will be able to uncover more clues about Ryan's disappearance. Ritzie told the CBC, "I don't know what my chances are of finding anything when I come out, but my chances of finding something when I'm not out there is 0. I feel almost guilty that we can't find Ryan, can't bring closure. I really do feel one day somebody's going to come forward and say something." The search for Ryan Stoka is still ongoing, and if you have any information, you're urged to contact the Kamloops RCMP on 250-828-3000. Michael Bryson, ongoing search. Michael Bryson was last seen on August 5, 2020, and we covered his disappearance in more detail in Episode 7 of our 10 Unsolved National Park Disappearances. Since that video came out, more information regarding the search for Michael has come to light. Michael's parents, Tina and Parrish Bryson, regularly drive down Roe River Road in the hopes of uncovering additional clues and leads. According to a KPIC article written in February 2021, volunteers have spent over 700 hours searching for Michael, and searches are still being coordinated on weekends. The Lane County Sheriff's Office has also conducted 15 searches since Michael disappeared, and there is no sign of them slowing down. Michael's parents told the news outlets, "We just want the truth. We want Michael back." With that said, this case has a lot of twists and turns, and we'll be dedicating an entire video to Michael here in the future, so stay tuned for that. Josh Hall, body found. In Episode 9 of our 10 Unsolved National Park Disappearance series, we covered the disappearance of 27-year-old Josh Hall. Josh went missing February 3, 2021, after parking his car and leaving for a hike from the Hesse trailhead with his dog, Happy. A cell phone ping later put Hall near the Devil's Thumb Trail / Diamond Lake cutoff in Colorado. His dog, Happy, was found alive February 12, 2021, on the Peak-to-Peak Highway between mile markers 40 and 41, just south of Ward. The distance between the cell phone ping and where the dog was found was approximately 9 miles as the crow flies, based on Google Maps estimates. On July 1st, 2021, a professional volunteer with search dog from Front Range Rescue Dogs discovered human remains in the Indian Peaks wilderness. The discovery was south of Jasper Lake, 4.3 miles west of the trailhead Josh reportedly left from. On Saturday, July 3, 2021, the Boulder County Coroner's Office confirmed that the human remains were Josh Hall. The Coroner's Office is still investigating Josh's cause of death, and no further information has been released to the public. We send our condolences to Josh's family and ask that you respect their privacy during this difficult time. Josh, rest in peace. Jordan Nader, body found. We covered the mysterious case of Jordan Nader in a special episode of 10 Unsolved National Park Disappearances from the Canadian wilderness. Jordan Nader was reported missing on October 13, 2020, from Manning Park in British Columbia, Canada. Jordan was Memorial University engineering alumni and a recent graduate of the University of British Columbia. Jordan had set out on a solo hike on Frosty Mountain Trail in the park and was never heard from again. Jordan's parents flew out to Manning Park to help in search efforts. When the authorities decided to suspend the search for Jordan, his parents kept searching and didn't stop until his remains were found on July 4th, 2021. His parents shared the following on social media. We now have information on his fate to share with you all. After accidentally losing the hiking trail in unexpected snow conditions at Frosty Mountain in E.C. Manning Park, BC, October 2020, Jordan Nader fought a courageous battle to escape out of treacherous terrain. His remarkable distance traveled through drainages under the worst imaginable blizzard conditions were testament to his superhuman effort to survive. After a long journey throughout winter and summer months searching Manning Park ourselves, thanks to a large team of wonderful volunteers, and particularly a few of our most dedicated volunteers, Jordan's final path was eventually determined. Jordan Nader was a graduate of Memorial University's engineering program. He was an NSERC Canada Graduate Scholarship holder and finished his master's program in electrical engineering at UBC. Jordan was a dear son, brother, grandson, proud Newfoundlander, and called Vancouver his new home. He was a brilliant, young, talented man with an enormous heart and loved life and his family. Further information to follow as the formal investigation proceeds. We here at Missing Persons and Mysteries send our thoughts and prayers to Jordan's family. Jordan, may you rest in peace. Well, there you have it for this update. Thank you for listening. Look forward to your comments, but we ask that you please be respectful to the victims and the opinions of others. Until we meet again, I'm Steve Stockton, and I'll talk to you next time.